Good morning, everyone. This is Gaganjeet Singh. I'm a customer success manager from VAV. VAV is official alumni engagement partner of Gandhi Institute for Education and Technology, Bhubaneswar. I welcome you all to today's webinar by eminent alumna of GIET Bhubaneswar, that is Namrata Kaur. Before we start a session, I would like to introduce Namrata. She's from class of 2015. She pursued BTech in Electronics and Communications in Engineering and joined right after her education. She joined Capgemini. That is in 2016 at a position of software engineer and analyst. After 1 year of her experience, she became senior software engineer at Capgemini, and so on to after completing 3 years, like 2 years at Capgemini, she became associate consultant and worked over there for 1.5 years. She's currently pursuing Master of Engineering in Computer Engineering from University Windsor, Canada. Hi Namrata, we welcome you to today's webinar. Before we invite you to take this platform, I request Professor Sudeshna Balyar Singh to please come on platform and for the welcome address.
Thank you, Mr. Gaurav. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, rest of you, respected all the dignitaries, faculty members, esteemed speaker, all the participants and my dear students. This is Sudeshna Balyar Singh, Assistant Professor of Department of Civil Engineering, as well as the convener of this webinar. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all to this wonderful webinar, College to Tech Giant and Masters. I would like to take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to the chairman, Gandhi Group of Institutions, respected Professor Dr. Prakash Panda sir, Vice Chairman, GIT Bhubaneswar, Professor Jyoti Prakash Mishra sir, Secretary, GIT Bhubaneswar, Professor Snigdha Rani Panda madam, Principal, GIT Bhubaneswar, Professor Dr. Jeevananand Jaina sir, Principal Diploma Wing, GIT Bhubaneswar, Professor Vikas Chandra Patnaik sir, Dean Research and Development, Professor Dr. Sambit Kumar Mishra sir, Dean Administration, Professor Balaji Prasad Padhi sir, Dean Academic, Professor Dr. Animesh Chetrai sir, Professor in charge of different areas, all the todays of respective departments, faculty members, members of staff, all the participants and esteemed speaker. Today, we have among us our most eminent and distinguished alumni of our college, Ms. Namrata Kaur, a former associate consultant at Capgemini Private Limited, and currently she is pursuing her master's in engineering at University of Windsor, Canada. It is a pleasure to have her as expert to speak a few lines or to guide our current student by gracing her presence in the event by sharing her experience at GIT, and after graduation to guide the students on how they will prepare for the corporate, as well as you will guide on the higher studies and research as well. And as we all know that the alumni are the backbone of any organization, and they not only just delineate the past, but they are the torch bearer for the present and future batches. So likewise, this webinar is all about to groom and guide our current students who are alumni. With this, I would request Mr. Gagaji to take up the session forward, and over to you, sir.
Thank you for warm welcome address, ma'am. Now I request Professor Dr. Jabananda Das to please come on platform and address the students.
A very good morning to one and all. Honorable Chairman, Gandhi Group of Institutions, Dr. Satya Prakash Panda sir, our respected Vice Chairman, GIT Boniatangi, Professor JP Mishra sir, Revered Secretary, GIT Boniatangi, Professor Siddharani Panda ma'am, Principal Diploma Wing, Deans of different wings, Professor in charge of different sections, HODs of all departments, my beloved, loving students who have logged to this motivational session. Of course, the team member of Babu Group, Mr. Gaganjit Singh, and our pride alumni, Ms. Namrata Kaur. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to this motivational session. A warm welcome to Ms. Namrata Kaur, who was graduated in the year 2015 from JIT Boniatangi. And right after her graduation, she joined Capgemini Private Limited in a position of software engineer. As Mr. Gaganjit Singh said, after 3 years, she promoted to associate consultant in the same company. And currently, she is pursuing her master's in engineering in the University of Windsor, Canada. I welcome Namrata to this motivational session, and it's my personal request you should share all your experience, all your roadmap. How have you made your journey from JIT to Capgemini? Then you set your goal to do your master. How have you organized your mind? What was your commitments to achieve your goal? So I think when your younger brothers and sisters will listen you and your commitment, your roadmap, I believe definitely they will follow you, and they can also set their goal for their life. But for me, an organized mind, it refers to a well-established mind which behaves like a wishing tree. So a wishing tree, it's a tree. If we sit under a wishing tree and we start to dream or we start to wish to have some good food, then within no second you'll find the good foods are ready for to serve. So the point is, how can we organize your mind so that when we set our goal or when we wish something in our mind, when something will be manifested in our mind, it's supposed to happen. So I believe when the energy level, when the thought process, when the behavior and commitment, our commitment to achieve this goal, when all these 4 dimensions are will start to work in one direction, then I think it will become an established mind, or our mind will be organized, and whatever we dream, I think it has to happen. Because you see, suppose we start to move somewhere, we are traveling to somewhere, and in every 10 minutes or in every 15 minutes, if we start to change our direction, then the possibilities of reaching at the destination will be definitely remote, unless until it happens by chance. So the thing is, when we are dreaming something, or when we are wishing something, or when we are desiring something, when we are setting our goal of our life, then we have to work in that direction. Because we cannot expect any miracle. It is our energy level, it is our hard work, it is our commitment. If we'll work on these dimensions, then I believe everyone can success in their life. And I'm pretty sure all our students are capable enough to get success. Only they have to lead a systematic life by setting a goal, and to fulfill the goal, they must be committed. Without commitment, it is not difficult. It is absolutely impossible to achieve anything. And at the same point, suppose I desire to, or you desire to crack civil service, and in the next day, something comes to your mind that would it be possible for me to crack civil service? It may not be possible. Perhaps I may not crack if the negative lights, if the negative beams of lights immediately will be manifested in your mind. That means on one level you are desiring something to get success, and on the other level you are saying that I don't want. When a negative thought impressed in your mind, so directly it's saying that you are not you do not want that. So on one level you are desiring something, and on the other level you are not interested for it. Then how can things will happen? So dear students, when we'll feel happy? So we usually feel happy when the life, or when the time which comes as we want. So the way we want to make our life, if everything goes right, then definitely we'll be happy. But the thing is, to go everything right, you have also some duty, you have also some responsibility, and I know you all are capable. That's true. So you have to be a bit systematic. So we have Ms. Namrata, and see, your senior, now she's doing her master's in engineering at the University of Poinsett. So tomorrow you may go to that place. Tomorrow you may also go to Massachusetts University. You may go to any other highly reputed university. You may also, she was working with Capgemini. You may also work at Capgemini. So it's not a big issue. So the issue is you have to set a goal, and you have to work in that direction to achieve the goal. Don't frequently don't change your direction. You have to be focused. You have to be focused on your thought process. Whatever thing you have thought in your mind, yes, I want to become this and that. In that direction, you have to work. You have to devote your time in that direction. And see, the world is changing in a very fast rate. And if you won't cope up with this changing scenario, then definitely it will be a mismatch. So and you don't think that I can't do this, or we can't do this. Don't take that kind of impression in your mind. 100% with a 100% positive attitude, you start to work. Definitely you'll get success, because nothing is impossible. And we supposed to not live with your past experience, that which has not yet happened, that will not happen tomorrow. It's absolutely wrong. So suppose I'll say, how many of you now you can fly? And all will say no, we can't fly. But if I say, can you walk? Yes, because we know I can walk, because I'm walking. It is my experience. I'm saying it from my experience. But I have not flied. So that's why I'm saying it to no, I can't fly. But don't think till date which has not happened, it may not happen, or it will not happen tomorrow. Of course it will happen. So you should not live with your past experience, that this is the thing and I cannot go beyond of it. Yes, you can go beyond of it. You can fly, you can achieve success, no doubt of it. If your senior Namrata is today now pursuing her master of engineering at University of Windsor, then why not you? Of course you can go. And I have enough confidence on you that you people will definitely go there, and you can also go to a better place than your seniors. So Namrata is ready now. So at last, once again, I welcome you all to this motivational session, from college life to corporate life, from corporate life to university life. Thank you, Namrata, and you have accepted our invitation. And at 12:20 or 12:30 a.m. a.m. in the night, you are ready to motivate your younger brothers and sisters. Really, I am very much thankful to you. and it shows your belongingness to your alma mater. Please be in touch with us. And I'm also thankful to Mr. Gaganjit Singh for providing the Power team member who has provided a wonderful platform to connect our alumni with the present students. So thank you all. And dear students, be patient and listen to your senior man. And I hope it would be an interesting and motivational session for you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for a warm welcome address and motivating students. A perfect start to start this session. Now, without further ado, I would request the presence of Namrata ma'am on platform, and let's start our session. Namrata, you there?
Okay. Thank you, Gaganjit, Sudeshna, and Sir for that lovely introduction which you just gave. So I'll just start the session by introducing myself. So my name is Namrata Kaur. I was born and brought up in Odisha, and I started my engineering career by taking admission in Gandhi Institute for Education and Technology in the year 2011 in electronics and communication engineering branch. I studied for 4 years, and then I got graduated in the year 2015. Like before getting graduated, I was already placed in an off campus placement in a company named Excel Dynamics. That I have not mentioned in my bio, but it was in Mumbai, and Mumbai being my dream city, I started, I just took that job offer. I went for the job. I went to Mumbai. Then I worked for 10 months. But since the position was as a financial analyst, I really saw that software was my cup of tea. So I just left that job. I did that job for 10 months, and then I left that job. I prepared for IT companies for IT interviews, and then after that I gave 2 to 3 interviews in a few of the good companies: Dell, Capgemini, Accenture. I got job offers from all the companies, but then I decided to go for Capgemini, and then I joined there as a software analyst. To be more precise, I was working as an Oracle techno-functional consultant. Then I took the job offer in 2016. I worked there for 3.5 years. And then after that, after working for such a long period of time, I decided that now it's the right time to pursue my further studies, because knowledge is never it is never ending. So I had to pursue my master's. So I tried applying for different countries. I applied for US, I applied for Australia, for Singapore, and then in Canada as well. I got like admits from few universities, and then at the end I decided to go for Canada. So I came here. I took admission in the Masters in Engineering program in University of Windsor, and then I started my studies in 2019, and I will be graduating my master's next month. So I'll be graduating in December 2020, and then after that, let's see where life takes me. So this was like my introduction. But I would not bore you guys by talking more and more about myself. I thought of taking the session forward by giving you some tips and tricks about how to survive your career. I know like most of you would be like about to graduate from your bachelor's. Most of you would have just took admission in the engineering. But like I know now you guys would have a lot of pressure. You guys would have a lot of thinking in your mind that what you have to do, where you have to go. Would I get a job or not? I know those all things were in our mind as well. But now when I look, most of my friends, they are in good companies. Most of my seniors, they are in good positions. Most of them are pursuing masters from abroad. Most of them are in government services. So they all pretty did well. So you guys would also do well, but you have to concentrate more on your career right now, because this particular time, is the most important time. I know college is fun. College, we all just get one college life, but in the meantime, along with all the musties, you have to also concentrate on your career, because right now what you learn will define you further. So I will just try giving you some tips about what to do when you are in college. Okay, so the first thing is like attend classes. Okay, like attending classes is really important, because 80% of your study, like 80% of the thing which you learn is in class, whether or not you accept it. But I tell you that the study like which you pursue, 80% of it is in the class. Then the 20% you go and learn. So this will make your time, it will make your life easy. It will make it easy for you to to give your exams. Then the second thing is just take part in all these seminars, inter-college competitions. I know right now COVID, because of COVID, these all things are not possible. But whenever the college reopens, the things go back to normal. Just try to take part in all the co-curricular activities. By co-curricular, I mean seminars, maybe jams and all. These were in our time. So just take part in all those activities. Take part. I remember like we were the third batch in the college, and like we were the first amongst the girls group to take part in a robotics competition. So we were the first amongst all the girls. So that was really inspiring for all, because then after that a lot of juniors took part in robotics competition. So just take part in all those things, because these all things add up to your resume, because at the end it's all about your job. So try doing that. Then try taking part in inter college competitions. Yeah, so that's necessary, because you have to socialize. By socializing I mean active, like positive socializing, not negative socializing. Try socializing with people, try socializing with your college mates, talk to your seniors, talk to your college seniors, your alumni, talk to your professors, talk to the students from other colleges. Just talk to them and just get to know that whatever is going in their college, what is going on right now, what they are studying. So just do that, because those things are really important. And socializing is really important nowadays. It wasn't that important though in our time, but nowadays I see that most of the people, they get job by socializing. Yeah, that's correct actually. By socializing, I would like to also mention one point. You all must have heard about a social media platform, LinkedIn. Yeah, so make a good profile on LinkedIn. Try to improve your LinkedIn profile. Try to put a good resume on your LinkedIn profile, because nowadays people get jobs by LinkedIn. So rather than solely depending on the campus interviews, just try looking out for jobs outside the campus interviews as well. Do that, because that would really help you in getting a job. Now these were all all your all the things which you can do externally to get a job. Internally, just I know a lot of you are from different backgrounds, like you are from mechanical, civil, electronics and computer. So do one thing, make your basic clear. So the very first thing, like since I am a software person, so I can give you an example. Like I decided to keep one language clear, like one programming language, and then after that I went to learn, like when I was clear with my basics, I went to learn for the latest technologies, which made my which made my learning much easier, because when your basics is clear, when your logic is clear, you get good understanding of the latest technologies, which is really important. Because in nowadays, the technologies, they get updated, so you don't want to get outdated, right? By So just keep your basics clear. and go for the latest technologies. Just do that. Try to make certain good projects in your college. Yeah, so that's important because if you guys decide to do anything, like if you guys decide to do masters or higher studies, so these all things are really required, like your good academics and good engineering projects. So these are really required when you decide to do masters, because they all see all those points rather than seeing just your academics. They see what extracurricular activities you have done. So this was all about your college. Okay, so like how to get a job. I can't assure like okay, by doing this you will get a job, but this will increase your ratio, it will increase your percentage to get a job. So do that. Then after that, once you are into a job, like once you start working for a corporate world, be more professional. I know everyone is in like everyone is leading a student life, but a student life and a corporate life is totally different. So try developing corporate professional habits from now on, because this will help you, because you get noticed in each and everything. So you have to make your habits and everything really professional. So and then I what I feel is, and I was also told these things by my seniors, that getting a job is not that difficult rather than surviving it. So just uh, just start acting professionally from now on, and listen to your teachers, because their recommendations after completing your bachelor's, if you want to take admission in masters, their recommendations helps a lot. So for example, when I was applying for my masters, I asked Manil Madhav sir. He was my professor. So I asked him to give recommendation, and he was really happy to provide me that, because I had a very good relationship with our professor. So that helped me a lot to get to secure a position in the university. So that was really important. So do all these things, and I'm sure you'll get a job. But start listening to your professors, start attending classes, and yeah, the most important thing is start communicating in English. I know we are in India and Hindi is our primary language, but there is no escaping from English, right? So you have to develop like good communication skills, good presentation skills, because even though if you have good knowledge, if you have good command over your technical skills, it won't go much further if you don't have good presentation skills. So if you fear in speaking in public, just overcome that fear, because this is the best time to do that. So just do that. Otherwise you will face a lot of problems when you start working. So just overcome about your communication skills. And then yeah, so that would be like I think these all things would really help you guys to get a job, because priority is getting a job. Okay, doing masters is a second thing, but try getting a job, and then after that try getting a masters, because in masters they really see if you have an experience or not. So try doing that. Keep your path really clear at this moment, because you don't want to waste your time going forward, that okay, I don't want to do this, oh, why have I done that and all. So try keeping your path really clear right now, and then after that just go for your field, what in whichever field you want to do. So yeah, so I really don't want to make this session about only me speaking and you guys listening. I really wanted to make it an interactive session so that I can answer your questions, because I really want to, answer your questions, because so that you guys would get easy on your career. So yeah.
Exactly. For same to see to not keep it only one way, like only Namrata is speaking and we are listening. It is better
Yeah.
because she's over here to guide you today. like, so make most use of it. You can see this Q&A option on your control panel. See, people those who are joining from your laptop or computers, PCs, you can see Q&A option on your control panel down below. And if you're using your phone, then you can see on your top, like there'll be this Q&A written, an option will be there. You can use that and ask questions to Namrata. Namrata, you there? It seems we
Yeah.
lost you in between.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So what we'll do is, meanwhile, we had some questions during registration also, when people were registering themselves for this webinar. So you like, very beautifully, you actually described of what all steps you have to take right from the college to joining a corporate and then choosing masters. There's this one question, because many of the students, when they join in first year and second year, they realize that their communication and self confidence is very much required when they go ahead, when they sit for placements, and then when they go ahead in this corporate culture, right? So how, like you said, that always emphasize on English language or communication skills. Basically, I'll not say only English, but your communication skills. How you were able to adapt to better like communication skills, or you get that fluency in your talks. We can see you're speaking so, like, without any worries, you are sitting over there, and with your confidence, you are guiding your students. So how did you build up all this thing when you were there in the college, and then all during all those 4 years? Yeah.
Okay. So I will just answer this question by just telling about a small thing. So I think it was my first day. Oh no, it was my fourth day in the college, in my engineering college, like the bachelor's. And there came up an opportunity to there was a speech competition or something. So what I did was, it was really new. So I hopped on to that opportunity. I thought of going and delivering the speech, because no one knows me right now, right? No one would be there to judge me, because I know that judgment thing comes to our mind. We all are human beings. We are scared by people judging us. So I tried to to go to that stage to speak about to give a speech or something, and I did good, right? Okay, because there were certain people along with me who were nervous. So uh start speaking, because you know what, the people listening to you are also nervous. So just forget about people, like what they will think, what they will do, because the people who really matter to you are the interviewers, or or the people who are sitting in front of you, the panelists or something. So they are bothered, like they bothers, like like just just speak, just don't bother about anyone else. And they don't judge you for what you speak, for how you speak. They just see what content you are speaking. And you speak, like you start speaking now. Okay, now you're not speaking really good. You're just fumbling in between. See, I also fumble, like now. I also fumble. It's not like I don't fumble, but start doing that. Now you won't be that good, but you'll just grow, and then there would be a point when you will just speak like everyone is speaking. So yeah.
Right. So yeah, exactly. Like most of the times we feel that the other guy will say something about us, and this fumbling is something. If you have that confidence, then nobody is going to notice you, basically,
Yeah,
right?
because everyone is nervous about speaking, so we don't have to worry about what other people are thinking. So
Right, right. So there was this one question from a student, again from the registrations itself. We'll just complete this two, three important questions from registrations, and we are receiving questions in Q&A also. I can see there are 6 questions now. There was this one question that, engineering is very tough. When I say tough, you have a lot of projects, you have midterms, CAs, you have to cope up with your studies, right? You have to cope with your lectures. Then how do you actually find out time to actually build up, like you say, like if you're talking about any skill, or if you have area of interest as AI, ML, and you really want to pursue in that fields, most of people will be having different area of interest. So how did you actually synchronize your skills and your goal and your studies together when you are there in the college, and how you actually did this?
okay, so like I would like to answer this by just one thing. um okay, I know like there are a lot of exams, there are a lot of projects you have to complete, you have to write assignments, you have to write project reports and all, but you know we get 24 hours a day. Okay, we sleep for 8 hours, right? We watch TV, we watch video games, we go talk with people. So just take 1 hour from that. I'm not asking you guys to take the whole time which you are getting as a as a leisure time. Just take 1 hour and just go through what latest technology, like it is like right now, what latest technology is there. So just go through that. And yeah, I forgot to mention one more point in my like session. So just be updated with the latest news. Okay, so that's really important. What is going on in the world, not only India but also in the world. Okay, just so there are a lot of apps. What I use is I use BBC. So that's the most reliable news app which I see. So I just go through every morning. I wake up, I because we have a habit of looking to our phone, right? So okay, along with scrolling through your Instagram posts, just try scrolling through the BBC page once and just see what is going on. So there is a lot of section in BBC, but just go through the top news section. So that would also, it would help you somehow. It would help you. And so coming back to that question, and that how to make time for that, just devote 1 hour. 1 hour, okay, you don't want to devote 1 hour, just devote half an hour, but do that sincerely. And that's really enough to to, because you can learn a skill in 6 months. Okay, make a target that you have to learn a skill in 6 months. You have to learn one skill, because at your point, like you guys are just undergrads. So at your point, starting learning skills, and then when you will be reaching my position, so you would have a bucket full of skills. So that would be really helpful for you guys.
Right. So, like, let's pick up some questions from Q&A now. You were mentioning about this having a good LinkedIn profile, right, for your professional networking. So Ankit Sharma is asking how to make our LinkedIn profile more strong. So what do you suggest? Like we saw your LinkedIn profile. It's really, you have mentioned a lot of things in that, and for every position you mentioned, like what all JD you had. So how will you suggest current students to have their LinkedIn profile?
Okay, so I know like you guys won't have an experience, but you guys must have done a lot of projects, right? So try, just start mentioning your academic projects. In the projects, there's a section for projects. Just try doing that. Try adding certifications in your profile. Make a good bio. Okay, so how you can do that is just go through the profile of your alumni, through the profile of just go and search for the profile for the CEOs. Okay, just see, you can see the CEO profiles as well. Just go through a lot of profiles, go through that, and then make point about every every profile, every important point, that okay, this is a good attractive point. What attracts you the most for that profile, just note it down, paraphrase it or write it in your words, and then make a good bio. That the interviewers, they just look to only to your bio. So once they are attracted to your bio, they go to the experience part. So just make a good bio, a professional profile picture, a good cover picture, and just try connecting with every every alumni, every big a good corporate persons, every in your field in which you are interested. So just try doing that.
Right. So there are two questions on entrepreneurship. I don't know whether it is valid because there's we today we are not discussing about anything related to entrepreneurship. But like I'll just ask one question combining. There are two questions, right? So I'll be combining these questions. So nowadays companies, and if you're going for masters abroad also, like they look for entrepreneur skills in you, right? So how will you guide your current students when they're in college, especially to second, third, and fourth year? So how they can actually develop this entrepreneur skills where they can give a lot of inputs when somebody is asking them, if they're part of team in a corporate, or if they are choosing to do masters and they're going for GD, they have to give a lot of inputs, right? You cannot sit.
Yeah.
So that's how your entrepreneur skills are coming up. So how will you guide your students to develop those entrepreneurial skills?
Okay. So there's a picture for doing masters. Okay. So the very first thing is that just attend. Your entrepreneurial skills can be developed while working in a project. Okay. Ultimately, if you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to work for someone. Otherwise, you won't know what are the expectations of a company or something. So you have to work for someone. Just note down what points you want to do that, or what points you want to you want to take that forward. Then attend in YouTube. When you go, you see there are a lot of people delivering TED Talks. Just listen to those TED Talks that are really important. Do that. There are certain certifications which can help you in becoming a good entrepreneur. They are free. So in and nowadays you get everything in internet. So if you really want to become an entrepreneur, you have to first practice, and then after that you have to develop your skills, so that you have the particular knowledge. And then after that, in case of getting a master's, you have to create a good profile, which not only sees your behavioral and all. It also sees the technical skills you have, but the behavioral skills are also given much more importance. So yeah, so just do all these things. So I think so, but I can't answer this because I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't have much expertise
Exactly.
in that area, but
Right.
I think this would help you. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you were mentioning about this, doing work for some organization and picking up good projects, and because over there you can actually use your entrepreneurial skills, this very good question came up by Samantha. Like, what's your take on internships? Normally students they keep looking for paid internships, and what they do is they land up losing their opportunities and not doing this internship at some good organization just because they're not paying them. So how will you suggest your students, because these internships also play a good role when you go for placements, right? They actually ask you what are projects. So how was your internships actually? And you can maybe give an example during your college
By
days.
internship you mean like summer internship?
Yes, yes, that summer internship which you have during your college days only, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I made a mistake there. I also like you said that to get into any internship, I just got into L&T. So
Yeah.
like L&T, because I was staying closer to that, so I got an internship in L&T because my father was working there. But that was a huge mistake. I should have gone for an IT company in which I could have done internship, because that would have been much more useful to me rather than going to an electrical company, because I totally learned electrical things over there. So that wasn't much more helpful to me for my career. So what I would suggest to the students right now is don't repeat this mistake. If you don't get an internship, that's fine. No one is looking for an internship. No one is looking what you are going to do. If you didn't get an internship, you won't get a job. So this is just a myth. It is not like that. um, just look, whether it is paid or unpaid, it doesn't matters. What matters is, have you learned anything? Because at the end, the interviewer will ask you what did you learn from that, and what relevant thing you learned from that. So just don't go for any internship. Just try and wait, and if you don't get it, that's fine. There are a lot of options to do that. There is freelancing. You guys must have heard about that. um, just in freelancing, you do projects, small projects, you learn about things. Don't do it like, I'm not asking you to do it for money, but just for knowledge you can do that, and you can just improve your skills in that particular expertise.
Right. So there are these two questions. Like there's one question by two people. Like one is Chitranjan and one is Simata. They both are asking that you discussed about corporate habits and having a professional behavior, right? So how will you elaborate, like how to basically gel up in? We already discussed about this when we were talking about communication skills. But in addition to communication skills, when we talk about corporate culture, there are a lot of things, right? When you're reaching out to people on phone or you're writing an email. So how do you actually practice that, and how do you synchronize that with your studies?
Okay, so like I would just like to mention that I joined Capgemini. I got a very good project, and my client was a North American giant. And there's a habit of these North American people that they say a lot of thank you and sorry. So that's really that's a thing which you have to develop. Start saying sorry and thank you a lot, because this really improves your personality, how you're speaking. That's the first the first introduction is like with a person. You say the first introduction is really important. So just don't talk too much and don't talk too less. That's the first thing you have to do. Don't go very personal about talking to a person. Just be on professional grounds. Start your conversation by hi, how are you? And if a person asks you that, just reply him or her with an answer. I am fine, thank you, how are you? So these are certain things, because these all things are really expected from you guys. While giving a presentation, always try to look professional. Okay. Because uh, we okay, being in India, we all don't have a habit of wearing blazers. But when you work for a company, when you work for a corporate company, you have to wear formals. Even though people come to a company, they wear informal clothes, but they don't make a very good impression on the managers. So just try dressing formally. Try addressing them in a good way. um, and don't get too personal with the manager or the higher authority. Yeah.
Right. So there's this question by like Santanu. Like I've not been able to do my coding skill till date. In this case, I go for internship. Then whether they'll accept. So he wants to get into an IT company, and he's not like he has till date he has not done with his coding skill. So he's just asking if we go for internship, whether they are going to accept him or not. Like normally,
Okay.
how you felt it when it was your day.
Okay. So Shantanu. Okay. So Shantanu, listen. The first thing what I want to share is I also didn't knew much programming back when I was in college. But then you know what? Like I just made my basics clear. You don't have to whenever you go for a job, whenever you go for a job interview, you don't have to write everything. Okay, they will ask you to write a code or something, but they generally test your logic. If your logic is clear, they will somehow give you marks for that. Knowing the programming language is really important, but being basically clear is much more important. So start from now onwards. Take the very easiest programming language. I can suggest you can learn SQL. It is really easy. Just try learning it, and you can just work in that field, because nowadays SQL is one of the latest technologies which is going nowadays. Because I worked on SQL as well. Like I had an experience in SQL. And being an electronics and communication engineer, I think SQL is really easy. You can work on that, and nowadays it is really it is a hot topic. So you can do that. You can take any one programming language from now on and start. And doing internships, again, I must say, doing internship it's not the end of the world if you don't get an internship. Okay, you can always get a good job. And yeah, and because when it's COVID, now it's COVID, so most of the companies, they are remote. So you don't have to worry of going to a place, how I'm going to manage there and all. So yeah, so you can do that.
Right. Right. So there's this question by Badal from the software company perspective. He wants to know whether he should be focusing on many languages or he should only focus on one language and get competency
Okay.
over it.
Okay. So by that question, so this is a complicated question. See, now you have to make your basics clear. Okay. But knowing other technologies, like I said, knowing other skills is really important. So when I gave an interview for Capgemini, so they asked me about Java. I didn't knew much about Java, but then somehow I answered questions about Java. But when I went to that company, I worked on a completely different software. I worked on Oracle, like SQL. So it's not about learning many languages. Just learn one language, keep the logic clear, and then develop your skills. What I can say from software perspective, data science is the hottest topic right now. So you can just go learn more about AI, data science, machine learning, and I think you will get a good job rather than just sticking to one language. Just go just make your basics clear and then just go for higher latest technologies. By that I don't mean by learning it does not mean that you have to learn different languages. You just have to know some things, basics about those languages. So yeah.
Right. So there's this question by Abhishek. He's a student from CSE, Computer Science and Engineering. He's just asking you like he's not interested in coding. He's much more interested in graphics. So how to manage both the things, like whether to go ahead with coding or graphics.
Graphics, okay, so by graphics I mean he must be saying analysis or something. Okay, so yeah, you can do that. IT company does not mean that you only have to do coding. See, what my position in my company, it was techno functional. I didn't only do technical jobs, I also did functional functional jobs as well. So it's not always necessary that you have to do coding, because I know a lot of people, like I have a lot of friends who are not coders, but they earn a lot. And what I see the scenario over here in Canada, most of the people who are not interested in coding and all, they go to QA. So that there are a lot of like options for you. You have QA, you have analytics, you have SEO, and also there are a lot of lot of options for you. So you can just choose among them. That, like, not knowing coding, okay, you don't have an interest on it, that's fine. Right now that you don't have an interest in coding, so you have a lot of time to figure out what you really want to do. And there are a lot of other perspectives also, so you can just go ahead and look to that. And if you guys have
Right.
any questions, so I am present on LinkedIn. You guys can ping me anytime. I'll be happy to help you guys.
Right. So, Namrata, I think we are left with one important question, because there are two people, Pratyush and Varun. They're asking about getting a job and cracking interview, and especially in this COVID situation where you are expecting a V-shaped recession. Not expecting, it's already going on, and you can see a lot of layoffs and all. So there are many students from pre-final years and final year. They're preparing themselves for cracking placement interviews and or off-campus placements. So how the question is, how do you actually prepare yourself, or how you make yourself competent when you're there, because the competition will be very high, right? If you're sitting for any interview during this situation, so how will you guide your students to become more competent and start practicing to crack interview from the college days itself?
Okay, the first thing, like I have already mentioned, that make a good resume. By making a good resume, I mean download good resume templates from online. Like you'll get a lot of resume templates when you Google. So just go to that, just see all the keywords. Okay, so nowadays what interviewers do is, in most of the companies, whenever you send a resume, so there are already placed systems who pick out the resumes of the people who have the maximum number of skills on their profile. Okay, so just try highlighting every skill of yours in the resume so that your resume gets picked. Because the first thing which you have to do is to get your resume picked, because once you get that, after that the question comes for the interview, right? So just try building your resume really good. Try adding all the projects which you have done in a good manner, so that the interviewer will, he will get impressed by looking at your resume. Don't make your resume too flashy, and just use same font size, standard font size, and just make it really simple and not very clumsy. Okay, so that was for resume. And then for interviews, um, try conversating with yourself in a mirror. Okay, or try conversating with your friends. Just make them sit stare at you and just start talking in front of them. That will decrease your, nervousness in front of other people. And just make your basics clear, because yeah, I also like I have also got an opportunity to interview people. So what I had I looked for the candidates, it was like if their basics is clear or not. I don't give much importance for the communication skills, because I know ultimately that would be developed when you work for a company. But the first thing is if their basics is clear or not, and if you're confident about your answer. Just be confident about everything what you speak. So yeah.
So there's one more question actually when you would, because it seems we just left that question in between. Simanta is asking, can you please talk on detailed note about mode of higher studies, like any exams or anything else? Okay, so the idea is like you got into University of Windsor, like, and if you want your juniors or batchmates to be on your steps and really want to get over there, so what all things they should prepare? Is there any exam, or how did you actually got masters outside?
I was just going to come to that. Actually, okay. So the very first thing which I have noticed here is that, guys, just get a job, just get an experience, and after that do masters. Because doing masters without a good, without a good job experience is really it's not that useful. So once you do that, after that, just start. Okay, now that depends for which country you want to do. If you want to do it in India, so you have, like, I don't know, in our time it was GATE if you wanted to do MTech. And that was really difficult. So you really have to, go through every, and that's not, the basics won't do. You have to learn advanced for cracking GATE. Now if you want to apply for different countries, so every country has a different pattern. I know about Australia, or Canada and US. For US, there's an exam called GRE. So you have to prepare for that. For Canada, okay, so for Canada, it's really like a bit complicated, because to get into a good university, like to get into a good master's program, you have to keep your academics really good, because here they accept people for master's stream for more than 75%. Okay, so you won't get into a university if your academics is really, it's not good. Secondly, you have to give an exam, IELTS. So it's basically an English communication exam. You have to score good in that particular exam. So it all boils down to your English language. So you have to do that. You have to make good SOP profiles. You have to get recommendation letters from your professors, and get that, you have to keep good rapport with your professors. So just keep your college life really good, and you'll get into a good college, like good master's college. So yeah.
Right. So I hope students are listening that if you really want to become like an Amrita, getting a good job and then getting into masters in Canada, then you have to score high. You have to keep yourself motivated throughout your engineering period, and you make sure
Yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah, because like competition nowadays, guys, I'm not kidding, like competition nowadays is really tough. Back when in our day it was not, and we were lucky that we came here, because if I would be there in your position, I would have worked like twice what I have worked that time. So because competition is really high, especially in the IT industry, it is really high. So you guys
Exactly.
have to, buckle up and start doing everything. So yeah.
Right, right. Also, like it is not only the competition, but the situation is such where companies are facing recession. You are actually will be going through a lot of competition, and make sure that what Namrata today guided you. You are, I hope you have noted down the points, and you'll follow her steps, and obviously once you'll pass out, you'll be with the Namrata in the same alumni association once you'll pass out. Right. So Namrata, like it seems like we are done with our 1 hour of webinar, and it did like it passed like anything. Like 1 hour was so your the way you delivered your points to student, it was wonderful. And I'll call you again, like just before we conclude our session today. I request Professor Abipsa to please come on platform and deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. A very good noon to one and all present over here. This is Abhipsha Sahu, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, GIT Bhubaneswar, as well as the co-convener of this webinar. It gives me immense pleasure to thank each and every person associated with this webinar. On behalf of GIT family, I would like to express my gratitude to Honorable Chairman, Gandhi Group of Institution, Professor Dr. Satya Prakash Panda sir, for encouraging us in conducting such webinar. Honorable Vice Chairman, GIT Bhubaneswar, Professor Jyoti Prakash Mishra sir, and respected Secretary GIT Bhubaneswar, Professor Snigdha Rani Panda ma'am. Thank you sir and ma'am for always believing in us. A special gratitude to our speaker, Ms. Namrata Kaur, for accepting our invitation and gracing this webinar by her presence. Thank you ma'am. I would like to thank Professor Dr. Jivanananda Jaina sir, Principal GIT Bhubaneswar, and Professor Vikas Chandra Patnaik sir, Principal Diploma Wing GIT Bhubaneswar, for their constant support. I would also like to thank Professor Dr. Sambit Kumar Mishra sir, Dean Research and Development, Professor Balaji Prasad Padhi sir, Dean Administration, and Professor Dr. Animesh Chotrai sir, Dean Academics, for their kind help. A warm regards to all the professor in charge of different areas, respected HODs, faculty members and members of staff. I would specially like to thank Professor Dr. Smruti Rekha Das ma'am, Professor in charge of Club and Committee GIT Bhubaneswar, and Professor Sudeshna Baliar Singh ma'am, convener of Alumni Club GIT Bhubaneswar, for their kind support and contribution towards this webinar. At the outset, I would like to thank all the participants present over here, without whom this webinar would not have been possible. Lastly, I would like to thank Mr. Gaganjit Singh from VAV for his continuous support and contribution throughout the conduction of this webinar. Thank you so much. Have a safe day, nice day. Thank you all. Now I would like to request Mr. Gaganjit Singh to wind up the webinar. So please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And like before we wind up, Namrata, would you like to say a few lines before? And like, thank you so much for your time. Like I forgot to mention that it's I hope like I think it's now 1 a.m. at your place, right?
It's 1:30 a.m. Yeah.
Right. So it's like we feel very proud, and I hope like even Dr. Jebananda Jena, he might be feeling very proud to see alumni working at so odd hours and coming back to college to motivate their students. So thank you so much for your presence. Any a few lines from your side before we wind up?
Yeah. Again, I would really wish every one of you. I hope you get a job. I hope I meet some of you in Canada, and I hope I get job references from you guys. So yeah, I really hope to see you guys do really good in near future. So, and if you guys have any questions, if you need any clearance, you can just reach me out. Reach to me in LinkedIn. So I'm actively present in LinkedIn. You can just ask any questions over there. So yeah.
Right. Exactly. You can actually just tap Namrata Kaur on LinkedIn search, and her profile will come like first in the list because I was able to connect with her, and she's very generous to accept connection requests. She accepted my request within a day or so, and I was actually able to see and prepare myself for the introduction part. So thank you so much, Namrata. Thank you so much for joining for today's session, and thank you all the panelists, including Dr. Jebananda Jena, Professor Sudeshna Baliar Singh, Professor Abipsa, and Smruti Rekha ma'am. Thank you so much for joining today's session. And thank you everyone for taking out time on Sunday, especially in the morning. I know it's tough for everyone during the holidays to join, but thank you all for your presence. We are signing off for today's session.